What's up, guys? Welcome to another video in the channel. Today we're going to go to see the largest right whale bridge in Central America and in Costa Rica as well. We're going to go to learn about his history, and this is really close to the history of the coffee as well in Costa Rica, so we'll learn about history of Costa Rica in this place. And this is such a natural place as well, so there's a lot of rivers and a lot of beautiful nature as well. So this is going to be an interesting video. To get there, we're gonna have to cross national park, which is called Braulio Carrillo. There's like a main road which goes in the middle of that national park, so we're gonna have to cross that place as well. The history of this train rails basically are really close to this national park, because they had to cross in the middle of that national park to make this train rails and make the train possible in Costa Rica. So a lot of things happen with that, and we're gonna go to learn about that. This place that we're going, it's called Sarapiqui, the area. It's northeast Costa Rica, and it's pretty close to the Caribbean side. My uncles, my family, they have a property there, so I spend a lot of time there because we used to go there pretty much. It's like 2 hours from the Central Valley, which is a place with the main 4 cities in Costa Rica. But I guess this is now time to make a video in that place, because it's such a beautiful place, and I want to show you guys about that place, and I want to tell you guys about the history of the coffee and the train as well. So we'll go to learn about this, and I hope you guys like this video, and let's go to see how it looks like. All right, so now we're putting all the stuff in the car, and then we'll go. Let's go. All right, guys, so look at this beautiful place. So we're going here behind these mountains. This is the entry of this national park that I'm talking about. So we get to go all the way through these mountains and go through them. We're just about to begin the main road, which is going to take us to these mountains, and then we're going to cross them. It's going to be a long way in the middle of these mountains. Alright, guys, so this is something I want to show you guys up, because this area in general is just like perfect for farming, because the weather here is like very humid tropical weather and rainy weather as well. So here it rains a lot, so it's just perfect for farming a lot of stuff, just like chili and things like that. So my uncles in this property, they basically farm chili, and this is the chili plantation. So let me just show you guys a little bit about that and see how it looks like, okay? Bueno, ahora sí, acá estamos con mi tío, que nos va a explicar un poco cómo funciona esto. Primero que nada, ¿qué estamos haciendo acá y de qué es esta siembra?
Esta siembra es de vainica. Una vainica, como usted verá, es de la vainica que enrea.
Ok. Sí, ¿qué es la vainica que enrea? ¿Qué es la vainica que enrea?
Es que tenemos vainica que es pequeñita, una mata pequeña, que con 3 cogidas ya se termina. Okay. Esta tiene la característica que enrea y se puede coger hasta unas 10, 15 veces. Okay. Entonces produce más.
Producción. Ok, sí. Perfecto. ¿Y esto que estamos sembrando aquí, qué es?
Esta es la misma vainica, pequeñita. En este momento estamos resembrando por unas matas que no nos quisieron germinar.
Ok. ¿Cuánto dura el proceso más o menos de esta vainica creciendo para el punto en el que ya se puede coger?
Esta vainica, del día que se siembra, 50 días después ya tenemos lista la cosecha.
Ok, perfecto. Y veo que como hay que estarla amarrando, ¿cada cuánto se tiene que estar amarrando para que ella llegue al punto?
Una sola vez. Se tira un cordel de la mata al suelo a 1,5 metros de alto. Okay. Ella misma se enreda sola.
Ok, perfecto. Por allá atrás tenemos el chilar. ¿Cómo funciona esto con el chile? Igual, ¿cuánto tiempo dura en el proceso de poder ya cogerse el chile? Y más o menos cuántas veces se puede coger por mata.
El chilar viene la planta ya de un invernadero. Dura un proceso como un mes en el invernadero y después del trasplante en cuestión de 2 meses y medio empieza la cosecha. Y si no entra ninguna plaga, hay chilaris que nos han durado produciendo hasta 6 meses.
6 meses, es bastante tiempo de producción. Excelente, qué bueno aprender un poquito sobre esto. Ahorita vamos a ir a ver el chilar para que veamos cómo se ve. Y muchísimas gracias por... All right, guys, so these are the chili plants. In here we can see the chili. It's growing up, so it's not ready yet. But in a few days, it's going to be ready. And this is how the plants looks like and how the chili looks like as well. Alright guys, so this is the place where we're staying in the property of my uncles. There's always a soccer field in Costa Rica's families because we just love playing that. And I just want to show you guys up a little bit of this place where we're staying. There's a lot of people here because all my family is here. We're spending time here together, so and this is where we sleep. All right, guys, so here we are just in front of the largest rival bridge in Costa Rica. The trains rail in Costa Rica is such an important thing because in our history, as I've been talking about this thing, the coffee has been really important in our history because before that, we were looking for a product that we could basically hold our economy on that. And we tried with a lot of things, with the chocolate and sugarcane, but these products were basically just farmed to survive and eat these products and just depend on these products just to survive. But the thing with the coffee was something different because we started exporting coffee to Europe, and the first country was England. So as long as we started exporting the coffee, the economy just grew up a lot. And the thing is that when we started with this coffee project, we had to take the coffee to a port that we have in the Pacific side, which is called Caldera. So as long as it is in the Pacific side and the coffee was being exported to Europe, then he had to take a long way all the way down in the boats to go still South America and go all the way up to get here again. So finally, when we get to the Atlantic port, it was taking 6 months and then 6 months more to get to Europe, and we were losing a lot of product as well. So the thing is that as long as we were losing that much time, we had to build something new to just win some time and make it better. So the idea was to make a port in the Atlantic side. The problem is that there is a really intense forest in the middle of the way to come here, which is that national park that we were just seeing a few minutes ago. That is the Braulio Carrillo National Park, and going in the middle of that place was a little complicated. So that's the thing. Building a train rails in the middle of that forest was such a big thing. So that's the thing. When we started with that project, it was really difficult and it was not easy to finish with that. But that was the only way to transfer the coffee from the Central Valley to the Atlantic port that we were just going to build in that place. So that's how our history started with the train. And let's go up so we can see a little better. So behind me, we had it, the largest railway bridge in Costa Rica. People just love doing this kind of like a challenge, because we have like little holes that you can, it's not really safe to do this, but People just love walking here as a challenge because, of course, this rival bridge is not used anymore. Actually, a part of that was just destroyed a long time ago. The river just grew up a lot and it was really intense, so it just broke like half of the bridge. But anyway, the thing is that this bridge was built on 1978 and it was finished in 1982. And all the train rails in Costa Rica started being built in 1870 and they were finished in 1890. And the thing with the train in Costa Rica is that as long as we were talking just about that, but as long as it was really hard to cross that national park, then we have to hire the man. That was actually a man from the US, and his name was Minor Keith. So he was already building a lot of train rails all around the world, and he knew a lot about that project. So we hire him, but we just make a deal with one. Well, he made a deal with us, and he was basically giving him a lot of property, like 400 hectares on this area, which is the area which is pretty flat in Costa Rica, and this is just crossing these mountains. So this is all the way back these mountains. So in this area, he just requests 400 hectares each side of the train rails because he went to South America and he saw the bananas plantations. So he saw that was such a great business. So he came here to do that after finishing the train rails. But the thing is that building this was such a complicated thing. So when he started with this project, he was also going to manage the train rails and get all of that money for 99 years. And the thing is that the government didn't really care about it because they just wanted to have a way to transport all the coffee, which was the main economy in the country. So all they wanted was just to get these train rails. So the thing is that he started building all this project, and when he got finally to this Braulio Carrillo National Park, it was really complicated. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard about all the history with the Panama Canal. So the thing is that here it was not that big, but it was something kind of similar. The thing is that that forest, it was really intense, so the people was getting sick. So he first started working with Italians, and they were not able to finish the project because it was a hard work and they were just getting sick. So at the end, they just started unfortunately dying, and then he had to try again with people coming from China, and they worked a little more, but the same thing just happened at the end. So what he finally did is that he started working with people from Jamaica, and they were actually able to finish the project. So when they finished that, they stayed here. And they stayed in this area, which is the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. So this area is full of people coming pretty much from Jamaica. They're pretty much Costa Ricans now because it's been generations since that moment. But a lot of things happened with them, and the people here were really cruel with them, and they were pretty racist at the beginning. And now it's pretty different. They're pretty much, as I said, Costa Ricans as us, but their history kind of looks a little different than the rest of the Costa Rican history because they were like pretty much separate from the rest of the country, and which is pretty bad. But now things just change, and now the things is pretty much different here. But the thing is that that's everything what happened here, and at the end we have these train rails, and these train rails are coming from the Central Valley, which is the place where we have these four big cities, and it's crossing all these flats, getting till the Caribbean side and the Atlantic Ocean, where we have another port. So we started exporting the coffee from that place, and this was really, really important for the history of the coffee. And in the middle of this train rails, we have this bridge, which is pretty large, and it's going in the middle of the Chivripo River. And this is such a large bridge. It has 444 meters large, and as I said, half of that was just it's just broken because of that river when it grew up. But yeah, something I want to show you a little later is all of these bananas plantations, because as long as Minor Keith he stayed here after the finishing with all this project, he planted a lot of bananas in this area, so the bananas businesses started growing up here as well. So that's something we're going to see in a few minutes. But first, I want to show you more about this bridge. All right, guys. So this is the Chivripo River, which is under this large bridge. This river has a lot of rocks around, a lot of them, and it's such a big river as well. Something I want to talk to you guys about is that the last video that we went to the Boss volcano, we were talking about igneous rocks. We try the ones coming from volcanoes and coming from lava, and when it gets dried, then we get these rocks like external igneous rocks are the ones that we have pretty much here in this river. This area, as long as it's pretty close to this national park, this national parks end up with one of the last volcanoes, and which is the Barba volcano. And we have a lot of volcanoes. It's like a line of 7 volcanoes. 5 of them are still active. And the thing is that as long as we're kind of close to these volcanoes, when Costa Rica was formed, all these volcanoes, we had even bigger volcanoes, and they were throwing a lot of lava, and this lava then became into a lot of rocks. So here in this area, well, at least in this river, we have a lot of rocks, like external igneous rocks, and all these minerals coming from this lava. It's pretty cool because some of these minerals, it's we get things like iron, and the iron, when it is in the with the water and the sun, we get this reaction. So I want to show you guys this up. So just like this stone, this is pretty much iron. So as we can see, with the water and the sun, we get oxide here, and it gets like this with this color. Just like when we see it on this bridge, we'll get a little closer, but the same effect that we get there is the effect that at the end we get on the rocks, because it's the same mineral. We have a lot of life in these rivers. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we have little fishes here. These fishes are going to grow up, and then they will go to that river. So we can fish here actually. Pretty much more like a sport. Not something that people do here for a living, but we can do it here. So now we just came to a beautiful, beautiful river. There's not much to say about a place like this, other than enjoying this beautiful place. And this beautiful nature as well. And that area, it's like a little deeper. So people like jumping from that area. They jump from here. And there's like a little bridge that way, so people like jumping from that bridge, which is a little tall. Alright, after refreshing a little bit, we're gonna go to see one last place, and then we'll finish with this video for today. It feels really good to get into that water. It's refreshing, and it was really, really good. Guys, so this is the last place we're visiting today. This is a property that belongs to a friend of my family. He lives here, and he farms papaya, which is this plant that we have right here. And the reason why we're here in his property is because this property ends up on a river, which is really cool. It's part of this Chiripo River, the ones that goes under this bridge, the large bridge. and it is beautiful where this property ends up. So I want to show you guys a little bit of that because the place just looks beautiful. So let's go there and let's go see how it looks like. And I'm going to show you a little bit of this property as well because it's beautiful. So let's go see it. So this is part of this beautiful property and more of his farming. This is the papayas plantation, and here in front of this papayas we have something that we call yuca. It's kind of close to a potato, but it's quite different. We fry it, and we have many ways to cook it, and it tastes pretty good. And this is just part of the property. This is something I want to show you guys up, because look at the size of this tree, and this is part of the importance of protecting the nature. Because for this tree to be this size takes years, and there it is. We're getting close. Let's go see it. Alright guys, so just look at this beautiful place. We just crossed to the other side. So we were just there, and we just crossed here. Look at this beautiful river sand. The place is incredible. Just look at this beautiful place, guys. Every time I come here, I don't know, this place makes me feel like it's not here in this planet. I guess that's pretty much the feeling we have every time we see something new, something different. So we have a lot of sand here, like river sand, and it just looks beautiful. That place that we see right there, as long as we have a lot of nature stuff that we can use on construction and things like that. Then we have places like this where they take some of the sand and the rocks as well. They break the rocks and they make them a little better for construction. But yeah, this place looks just beautiful. If you guys don't know about that, the sand is basically a process of thousands of years, but it's basically rocks. As I said, it's basically just rocks that they crush each other on a place like this in a river, or if it isn't a beach, it is because pretty much of the ocean moving all around and just breaking the rocks, and then we get this. But here in a place like this, a river like this, the rocks just get crushed each other, and at the end we just get this. But as I said, it's a process of thousands of years. But it looks beautiful here in the middle of nature, having this big place like this. It just looks beautiful. In the morning we were just talking about the oxide because of the iron mineral in the rocks. So this is pretty much what we're seeing here. This is just part of that oxide, so it gets that color. Alright guys, so this is where we end up this video. As always, I really hope you guys like this video, and if you like it, don't forget to subscribe and give us a like, leave a comment as well, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Allá va Yayo, se la pasa rata. La rata la pega, Coqui, casi.